years of my administration born out of anger from lost opportunities, Buhari says. What has this one got to say? He's the worst president ever in Nigerian history from his time. And he is the person that plundered Nigeria so hard, so badly with his nepotistic appointment with people from his village. So this man should keep quiet. And in the first place, is he even talking? Even when he was in government, he could not talk. They were giving us recorded broadcast. He couldn't come to the public. He can't even defend himself. He's talking. What has he to say? I used Nigerian money to change blood and to rejuvenate his age, and is coming here to talk. A president that could not even repair ordinary hospital that government officials should attend in Aso Rock. Aso Rock Hospital meant for him and the other government officials. He could not repair it, and he's here talking. Under his government, somebody cut grass with billions of naira. Under his government, rats swallow money, monkey swallow money. Just name it. Snake swallow money. Rat destroyed the Aso Rock Hospital. Eh? This man is just a epitome of evil. I shouldn't say anything. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has lashed out at his critics for expressing happiness over the end of his 8-year tenure, saying the criticisms that trailed his government were born of anger from lost opportunities. What lost opportunities? Look at this one. Telling Nigerians that he had how many cows? Is it 300 cows? How many cows? And he left Nigerian government house with the same number of cows. Who are you deceiving? Corruption of the highest order. So Buhari stated that many people were unhappy after he declared that no more free money during his administration. The former president, however, said his administration touched every sector with massive and positive changes, noting that one of the greatest achievements of his government was the diversification of Nigeria's economy. What did you diversify now? What are you talking? As if we're not be all of us there 8 years of penury, 8 years of anger, 8 years of bloodshed. Fulanis were killing people, dragging farmland from community landowners, and all of those things. That is the only thing you achieved. Boko Haram and bandits were bombing churches and killing people, kidnapping of school children, kidnapping of communities, displacement of people from their communities, with proliferation of IDP camps across the north. That is exactly what you get. And you came up to Middle Belt and wanted to come to South, and you wanted to restore grazing route. You wanted to do ranches across all states. You just wanted to create Fulani colonies across the country. Those were your achievements. Economic-wise, Buhari failed woefully. That is the truth. Everything he did, he failed woefully in terms of positive impact to people's life, only to create more IDPs. People died by bandits killing under your government. People like Gumi and Sheikh Gumi and the other man, El Rufai of Kaduna State, had the power to interface with bandits without doing anything. He recruited Boko Haram into the Nigerian military. Those are the things he did, and he's here talking. What nonsense. He said this in a statement issued by his spokesman Garba Shehu on Wednesday, September 13. You must speak to somebody now, because I know that he cannot talk. Okay, Shehu said, bullies who attacked governments and something dropped will continue to antagonize Buhari born of hunger from lost opportunities. A certain Buhari critics who served a military governor in one of the northern states, even his underwear was bought from government coffers. Then they came in, they freed thieves, robbers, and receivers of stolen goods, and even gave them a working capital. Can you imagine? So within a few weeks, crime returned to Kaduna, and yes, the other places, and he has the effrontery to speak as he did. This society has no use for such a squalid nonsense. Can you imagine? How many of these people do you think were happy when Buhari said no more free money? Okay? Who can you imagine? So no more free money for some people now, but there were free money flowing for so many people. Okay? even the Shehu, Garba Shehu that is talking, and all the people that worked under Buhari made billions of nairas and dollars. That is it. Buhari said money in national security agencies is for security. Lazy men and women who can't work cannot just walk in and walk out of that place with bags stuffed with money in a free for all. These ones have nothing to teach anyone. President Tinubu, a wise politician, will equally see through their masquerade. Can you imagine? So he's calling Tinubu now a wise politician. He added in the normative functions of our government, an administration takes 4 to 5 major decisions in 4 years, and they rush to the public square to celebrate themselves. Looking at the records he left, the Buhari administration has taken hundreds of major decisions in the 8 years he was in office, and yet you hear nothing but criticism upon criticism. Yes, now Buhari was a disaster in power. That is the truth. All this was because these people stole enough, so they are happy to say whatever they can say because they have gone with what they have stolen. Now, the premise of tackling corruption and establishing a strong democracy was a prime factor in the rise to power by Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressive Congress Party in 2015. On coming to office, the administration directed all ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, to close their accounts. With deposit money banks to fully operationalize the Treasury single account. TSA was launched in 2012 but left on the drawing board. So more than 17,000 banks accounts were closed, and an average of 4 billion naira in monthly bank charges was saved. Government revenue, it was found out, was being banked in personal accounts, and signatories were, in some instances, big men and women who had retired from service. This was closely followed with institutions of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll System, IPPS, to cover all MDAs in spite of great opposition by the armed forces and the universities. Ghost workers in excess of 50,000 were flushed out, and savings in hundreds of billions made. So where are those? Even with that, we're still borrowing, and now we are owing more. And right now, our foreign reserve has crashed, and you are saying you saved money. So where is the money? You recover the money and you share it again among yourselves. That is what is it. So throughout these 8 years, no bribery allegations against the persons of Muhammadu Buhari were ever made. Who told you? Can you imagine? People can just come because nobody is going to ask them to come and defend what they're saying. They just say and go. One of the greatest achievements of the Buhari government has been that it diversified the economy. The administration achieved self-sufficiency in rice and financed millions of small farmers of 23 different commodities, an effort that helped to boost the export of agricultural products. Can you imagine? Well, all this is done in the north because we didn't see them in the south. The former president's spokesman noted that Buhari's administration launched some programs, including the National Livestock Transformation Program, NLTP, which he said helped to curb herder farmer clashes in the country. Did he really curb it? He didn't curb anything now. It was still very terrible. He didn't curb anything. He added that the COVID-19 pandemic was brought under control due to the relentless leadership of President Buhari, saying Boko Haram terrorism had almost been quashed following the former president's government's fight against insecurity. Shehu added, there has been a massive improvement in health infrastructure, a significant and new education policy has been framed, and even a policy against open defecation has been formulated and is taking hold in many states. Can you imagine? Open defecation. When government offices don't have toilet, why won't people go to nearby bush to go and defecate? What do you mean? Okay, they are talking about improvement in hospitals, healthcare infrastructure. Did Tinubu was Tinubu able to? Buhari able to resuscitate the Aso Rock Hospital? Not talk of other hospitals in the country. He couldn't do anything now, and he did that, and he was even himself attending medical care in London rather than doing it in Nigeria at Abuja. There, this guy is just deceiving himself. The so-called critics don't want to acknowledge the great job done by the nation's intelligence agencies in diminishing the IPOB, its affiliates, and other secessionist movements. The National Intelligence Agency single-handedly worked with our neighbors, especially Nigeria Republic, in bringing down illegal small arms and illegal weapons, light weapons importation into Nigerian territory by 78%. So there has not been a single area that had not been touched by the Buhari government. We have seen massive positive changes in the last 8 years, but as they say, the one who is pretending to be asleep is harder to wake up than the one who is actually sleeping. Muhammadu Buhari has done his part and left. History will judge him unfairly, I think. Can you imagine? History cannot judge Buhari fairly because he destroyed Nigeria. Under his administration, Nigeria got worse. Exchange rate got worse. Everything about the economy got worse. He was completely clueless. Absolutely, completely clueless in power. That is the truth. So they can't come here and tell us what and what. It is easier to talk. Come and if there's interview now, he's not going to be able to defend all the things he's talking about. It's terrible. And somebody is saying you are one of nuisance value. You are of nuisance value, go and never come back again. You are a locust. Under this locust, a jobless youth owns a private jet. Yes, most jobless people turned billionaires, yet couldn't pay lecturers, borrowed to consume and enrich touts and terrorists. Wild locals indeed. This guy really destroyed Nigeria in every aspect. No sane country would wish to have you as a president. Okay? He doesn't know Emefiele has indicted him. Failure to invite him by the DSS gives him gut to talk anyhow. Exactly. Useless ex-president who succeeded in ruining the lives of millions of Nigerians. Okay, look at the North. The North today. Poverty, sickness, banditry, kidnapping, and underdevelopment is now the order of the day. The North and Nigeria, by extension, is now the headquarters of poverty in the world. That is how it is. Buhari administration touched every sector in negative way, and you open doors of corruption throughout the 8 years of the rule by borrowed money from China and World Bank to put Nigeria and Nigerians in this mess of debt and no gain. You failed woefully. Buhari Muhammadu, you failed woefully and the Emefiele. Yeah? Wallahi, Shankwai, Magana, how they speak there. So Buhari doesn't know that he failed. Okay, they are just talking. Even the Buhari self cannot talk. Garuba Shehu will just speak on his behalf because they know themselves. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.